Good morning. Welcome to today's session. I am Dr. V. Naresh. Today we are discussing on skill experiment 3. In that we are going to observe how to create an AWS Cloudfront distribution for content delivery network to restrict S3 bucket. So this is an experiment we are doing as part of skill experiment 3. Okay, so I hope you have successfully completed skill experiment 2. That is, in previous lab we have done how to deploy a static website in S3 bucket. Okay, so we are continuing from that. So in this what we are doing is we are going to Cloudfront, which is a global content delivery network. So whatever that we have uploaded in S3 bucket in previous lab, that is going to be connected with this particular Cloudfront. So let me open the bucket that we have done in previous lab. So type S3 here, and you can see we have already uploaded a file. You see, Naresh website 123 KLU, right? So when you go to the properties, you will find static website hosting is enabled already, and you can see the bucket website endpoint. Just click on this, make sure this is in the working condition. Yes, so too hard for my cat, and you can select the city and you can ask for the bot to respond. Okay, so I am selecting one particular city and it is responding nicely. Very good. Now what we are doing, we are trying to connect this particular S3 with our Cloudfront. So I am going to creating a Cloudfront distribution and connecting this particular link with this particular Cloudfront distribution. After that I will stop this particular access. Okay, for that regard I am following the experiment 3. Okay, so if you follow this particular experiment 3 in lab, you can able to complete this experiment. So let me explain you the procedure for all these step by step. Okay, clear? So now go to Cloudfront distribution in your Amazon Web Services, then click on create a Cloudfront distribution. Now it will be open like this. The origin domain will be you can select here. You should know the name of the website. So for me the name of the website is Naresh website 123 KLU. Yes, so you select that Naresh website KLU 123 S3. Yes, so this is my Make sure this particular experiment you have done in your North Virginia only. Okay, because our S3 also selected for North Virginia, right? So Naresh website 123 KLU, Naresh website 123 KLU. Yes, perfect. Now leave this origin path, and by default the name is selected here as Naresh website 123 KLU. Now origin access must be selected as legal access identities, and verify whether you have anything available or not. If you want to create new also, you can create for your domain. If it is already available, well and good. If it is not, then you can create the new one. Okay, the access must be as part of your bucket name, Naresh website 123, and the region name also as part of your S3. Okay, so now, and you can select bucket policy as yes, update the bucket policy. What happens with this? The bucket policy that you have in your permissions, Earlier it was like this, isn't it or not? Bucket permission is like this. Now you are going to change this permission by selecting this particular option, so that this particular file is enabling for S3 as well as for the Cloudfront, right? So both the things you are doing, and after successful completion of your Cloudfront distribution, we will keep this access only for the Cloudfront distribution and will remove this permission for the S3 bucket. So that is what our experiment is all about. Now you can keep enable origin shield as it is, and cache behavior you can keep as it is, and select you can see compress objects automatically, you can keep it as no, and viewer protocol policy must be selected as redirect HTTP to HTTPS, because the link that you have opened is applicable for HTTP and not secured, and you are making this into a secured. Okay, so direct HTTP to HTTPS, and keep this get head as it is, and restrict viewer access as no, and keep this as default. Function association is optional. Web application firewall, as of now we don't require any security. If you are looking for the security, there is always an option for a web application firewall, you can enable it, but as of now for this experiment we are not looking for the security protection. So you can select don't enable security protection, and go with the recommendation, that is the use all edge locations. And here SSL certification, we are not taking any SSL certification, ACM or IAM, nothing we are taking here, and we are going with HTTP version, that is HTTP/2, and default root object. What is the default root object? We have given root object as text.html, yes or not? Yes, select this and click on create a distribution. Click on create a distribution. Yes. Now you see this last modified is showing as deploying. Okay, so we have to wait for 2 to 3 minutes time till it get last date and time modified. Okay, after that we are selecting this distributed domain name, and we will paste that in our browser, so that it will show you both access, even for Cloudfront distribution as well as for your S3. And meanwhile you just verify whether your policy got updated or not in your permissions field. Just go to this, see here, just by doing the refresh option you can able to see that the option got enabled and the permissions got updated. And this is the portion for S3, and this is the portion for your Cloudfront distribution. Now which one you want to enable as part of your experiment? As part of your experiment you want to restrict your S3 bucket option, yes or not? So if you want to restrict your access for S3 bucket, what you can do, you can remove this policy here. You can remove this policy and you can continue with the Cloudfront distribution. Whereas if you want to allow S3 and disable the Cloudfront distribution, you can remove this. So it is up to you what you will do. Okay, so but as part of this experiment 3, what we are doing is we are just removing this permission, and before that whether we got access or not, check it out. Go to your distribution, this is how it looks like. It was got enabled, but we have to wait still it is deploying, right? So refresh it, wait for the completion of this deployment, and meanwhile verify whether your S3 is going to work or not. So this is my S3 link, just refresh it. Yes, still yes, it is showing all the updates and available in our S3. Yes, we can see that, but we are only waiting for this particular deployment. If this deployment got succeeded, then straight away we can use this domain name. What we can do, we can use this domain name and we can able to access it. Okay, so meanwhile copy this and try to paste it over here. Okay, so once it is, yes, we got Cloudfront also, we can able to access now. Yes or not? Now what is the observation? HTTPS cloudfront.net is working, as well as this particular S3 link is also showing you the access. Now what you have to do, you should go to your permissions and click on edit button and try to remove this particular access. Try to remove this particular access. Okay, it got removed. It got removed from the S3 bucket policy, right? And now what you can do, you just simply update the changes. Simply update the changes and it got edited and successfully bucket policy got updated. Now if you try to open your S3 link and refresh it, you will be getting an error. You see, you will be getting an error. But the same thing, if you want to do it for your cloudfront.net, you can able to see the result, which means the S3 through CloudFront we got access, but we restricted S3 access, right? So we have given permission only for this particular CloudFront. See here, this particular CloudFront on this particular buckets, get object and ARN given for only this CloudFront, right? So this is the observation. I hope you also successfully completed experiment 2 and working for experiment 3. All the very best, and we will learn few more in coming classes. Yeah, that's all for today, and you can see all the CloudFront results. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.